Hi and welcome to Jokkmokk. I'm Stina and today I'm gonna talk about something that many people think are quite embarrassing to talk about or even ask friends about, or even worse, asking a guide about if they're joining a guided tour. So I'm gonna go through everything here and go straight forward and talk about how to poop and pee in the outdoors. So before I dig into this subject, I will tell you a little bit of who I am. I'm Stina and I live here in Jokkmokk. It's a small town just above the Arctic Circle in Swedish Lapland. And together with my partner Matti, I run a small outdoor company called Jokkmokkguiderna. In summer we do hiking, canoeing, pack rafting, and in winter we bring people out on dog sledding adventures with our huskies. Our tours are no ordinary tourist arrangement, but rather challenging adventures and expeditions in extreme environments. So we do a lot of camping both in summer and winter, and we have made our needs many times in the bush, so it's not a big deal for us. Before we start, you need to be aware that there are different rules, laws and regulations in different countries about how to pee and poop, and it could also be actually that it's different in different regions of a country or in a special national park, etc. So it's really important that you update yourself about what rules applies where you are going. And in this video I will talk how we do our needs in nature in Sweden, and even if it's different rules where you're going, I'm sure you're gonna learn something in this video, so hang on. In Sweden we have a saying that says "nöden har ingen lag", and in English it means necessity knows no law, but this necessity has a law, and in Sweden it is neither you nor what you leave must be seen. So let's go through this step by step. So I'm hiking here along a trail and suddenly I feel like, whoops, I need to go. And yeah, now I'm alone, but maybe if you are with a group, you stop and let them all know that now you need to do some private business, so it's time for a break. And that can feel embarrassing, but I can tell you that most people in a group are just relieved to take a little water and snack break. And actually it could be also that some in the group also need to go, but they haven't been brave enough to tell someone, so they're just relieved that you did. So you're on the trail and you take off your backpack maybe to leave with the group you're with, if you're with a group, otherwise you take it with you. And you take out your little toilet kit and then you take a quick look around to find out a good spot to go. So you leave the trail, or if you already set up camp, you leave the camp and you walk at least 20 meters away from the trail or the camp. Further is better, but at least 20 meters. And the spot you choose should be out of sight of people and buildings, of course. It can be behind a rock or a tree or some bushes, or if you're on higher terrain, sometimes it's just enough to go down a hill, so you come in a different level, so you're out of sight of people. And super important is that you never poop or pee in any kind of water source, like a lake, river or streams, because water we drink, and if you poop too close to a water source, there's a risk that you spread colibacteria into the water, and to get diarrhea and stomach pain out in the bush far away from help is a serious problem and nothing you want to face. So go at least 20, I would say 50 meters at least from any kind of water source before you find a spot where to go. So I have now found me a good spot, and it's far away from people. I have gone a bit from the trail and it's not close to any water source. So now I'm gonna dig a hole in the ground If it's snowy, dig a hole in the snow. And for that I can either use my hands to dig, just the hands, turn up moss and stones to do your business under, or you can use a shit shovel, as we call it. This is just a usual gardening shovel in plastic, not very heavy, but of course there is special designed shit shovels that you can find online, and yeah, I will put a link to an example of that here in the description if you're curious. Yeah, so I just dig a hole here, and I don't want it too shallow. I do a proper hole. Sometimes you can find like stones that you can turn around and do your business under the big stone, because that gets a big hole. But you see what you have to deal with where you are. Then when you're done with the hole, you do the business in the hole. And for wiping, I bring toilet paper, and we always keep it waterproof. It could be like this, just in an ordinary plastic bag, or if you have a dry bag or something. But we usually just use ordinary plastic bags. And inside the toilet roll, you can see, I have a box of matches, because after I've done my business, wipe my ass, I can burn the paper. Really important here is that you only burn the paper if the ground is wet, or if you're in snow, it's no problem. But if you're unsecure, don't burn the paper, because then you can start a wildfire. So yeah, toilet paper will destroy naturally after a while, so it's not too bad for nature. But the best thing if you don't leave the paper, and if you can't burn it and you don't want to leave it, or it's not allowed to leave toilet paper, I used to bring toilet paper in a dog poop bag. Dog poop bags are made of real tough plastic, and they are always colored so you don't see what's inside it, which is nice if it's used toilet paper. If you're unsure of the quality, you can use double ones, but then you put the toilet paper in here. And yeah, if you use wet wipes, that can be nice to clean yourself with. Never ever leave wet wipes in the ground, because they don't destroy. They're usually some plastic and strange chemicals in the wet wipes, so, and they don't burn because they are wet, of course. So these you always need to bring back. For all kinds of trash there is only one thing to say, and that is what you can bring out, you can also bring back. So food containers, plastic bag, and everything that doesn't destroy fast by itself and it's not poisonous for nature, you bring back home. If you're just peeing, you don't need to use toilet paper. Then you can use a piece of stick to just dribble it off, or a leaf or something. And if you have snow, you can squeeze together some snow and use that to dry up the pee. For you don't know, snow has a great ability to absorb moisture and liquids. Hard to believe, maybe, but it works. That's what I used to do in winter time when I just go peeing. Yep, back to the hole. Now you have made your business there, and you burned your paper or put it in the dog poop bag, and also the wet wipes if you have that. Then you cover the hole and try to cover it as proper as it gets. And then you find some sticks or stones, even better, he puts that on top of the hole. For everyone being out on hikes, you know, if you find some poop, human poop and toilet paper around, it's really disgusting. And if you're a dog owner, you know how much dogs like to roll in all kinds of shit, so cover the hole properly and don't leave any trace. If you're on an official trail, maybe there are outhouses along the way. It's absolutely best if you can use them instead of going in nature. For example, in Swedish mountains we have the Swedish Tourist Association called STF has mountain huts on some of the trails, like King's Trail for example, and even if you don't choose to use the accommodation they have, you're welcome to use their toilets just to minimize the shit around on the trails. Not everyone can squat as long as it takes to do your business, but then you can use a rock, or like here you have a tree, you can use the tree as a support for your back. Another concern can be, and maybe especially in winter when you have a lot of clothes on, you don't know how to handle them. It's very important, yeah, and it's also here we have seen the most accidents happen, but it's very important that you get all the pants down properly and you hold them like forward. Maybe I can show here. You have to excuse my white legs. So yeah, so you hold the pants forward so no pee or poop are coming on them. Yeah, and when wearing a snowmobile suit in winter time with a hood, it's super important that you also hold the hood out of the way, because it's not a too unusual accident that people make their business in the hood and they don't realize that they have shit in the hood, and then they zip up the snowmobile suit and put up the hood. And the last things to not forget is clean your hands. Keep a good hand hygiene and wash your hands after you made your business, or at least wipe them off with some wet wipes, and don't forget to bring back the used wet wipes. So that was all from me for today, and if you have some other good tips, don't hesitate to share them in the comments. I would really like to see them, and I guess other people like that too. And if you like this video, don't forget to give a thumb up and subscribe, and watch our other videos from our adventures and expeditions. And until next time, take care, bye!